This is episode 37. My name is Mandy, and today we are speaking with Natasha Jovanovic from Ecology Ottawa. Natasha is passionate about the natural world and dedicated to helping people deepen their connection with their nearby nature. She completed her bachelor's in sociology and geography at the University of Ottawa in 2019 and is currently the Living City organizer at Ecology Ottawa. Thrilled to be making a difference in her community by sharing her knowledge of nature-based climate solutions and advocating for a greener city. Welcome, Natasha. We have 5 questions for you. What climate problem keeps you up at night?
Thank you for having me. And that's a really good question. One of the big climate problems that keeps me up at night is biodiversity decline in Ottawa and all over the world. Biodiversity is nature, and globally species are going extinct at 1,000 times the natural rate. In Canada, we have over 700 at-risk species, and over 60 of which live in the Ottawa area. And those facts are really troubling to me and do keep me up at night, but I think what actually worries me more is that so many people seem to not understand the significance of what that means exactly. And when we talk about biodiversity decline, at a very surface level, yes, we are talking about the decrease of the variety of life on Earth, but it's so much more than that. We as humans, we rely on healthy ecosystems to survive and to thrive. These healthy and biodiverse ecosystems provide us with something called ecosystem services. And ecosystem services provide us or support us in so many ways. Our food system, for example, relies on pollinators and healthy soils. Our cultural and tourism industries rely on nature for recreation and for spirituality. And so importantly as well, nature provides regulatory services that we need to conserve if we want to tackle climate change. For example, healthy urban forests will store carbon, they will help purify water and air, they'll help reduce the urban heat island effect, all while simultaneously benefiting human health and providing habitat to local wildlife. So it really keeps me up at night sometimes thinking that people, or that isn't general knowledge, that isn't as understood as it maybe should be.
What is the solution?
The way I see it is the solution is for the government to step up and implement policies that conserve and restore nature. And this needs to happen at all levels of government, but especially municipally. Most species at risk are actually found in the most densely populated areas of the country, which makes sense, and which also means that cities have a crucial and essential role to play. And this looks like a lot of things practically. This means having better ecosystem data so we can better monitor the progress or lack thereof of a specific area. And this can include monitoring invasive species like the emerald ash borer, for example. This also means conserving the existing urban tree canopy and planting even more trees, making sure we have a decent tree canopy percentage in each neighborhood of Ottawa. It means also amending bylaws to allow residents to have more biodiverse front lawns. And really importantly too, it means allocating more money within the city's budget for naturalization projects. This means allowing certain areas to naturally regenerate by planting native plant species. This will help support local wildlife, including native pollinators, which really need our help right now. And this is something we actually have the opportunity to do this year with the development of Ottawa's first ever Parks and Recreation Master Plan, which I think I'll talk about more later.
What's in the way?
What it really comes down to is not having the resources needed to prioritize nature. This is often because the political will isn't there, and I do think that that's changing, however, very slowly and not nearly fast enough, in my opinion. But for example, the city recently implemented a new tree protection bylaw, which sees more trees in the inner urban area of the city protected. But I think we need more action much faster, and with many conflicting priorities, especially right now, we need communities to come together and advocate to protect and restore their nearby nature more and louder than ever before. And I think another aspect of that is there needs to be an increase in public understanding of these issues, sort of like I was talking about earlier, although I think that is also slowly changing for the better.
How can people help?
Might be my favorite question out of the bunch today, I think, because there are so many ways for people to help. And the number one thing I would really recommend people do is get involved municipally, get to know what's going on in your community, in your city, and speak up for what you want to see. For example, we're in the middle of a consultation period right now in February for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, and I would encourage everyone to virtually show up to the consultations and show the city that you want more naturalized areas in parks. Show them that you want trees prioritized. Show them that you want pollinator gardens in more than just outside City Hall. We want them, in every park, let's say. And be sure to hold them accountable as well. Follow up with what happens. If they tell you they're going to do something, make sure they actually do it, and that they're putting their money where their mouth is, and definitely don't be afraid to call them out if they're not. And another great thing everybody can do is learn more about your nearby nature. And this is something really fun you can do as a family or individually. And it's never been easier to start monitoring the ecosystems within your neighborhood. Download the app iNaturalist. It's super cool. Make a free account. You take pictures of your natural observations while you're out and about. You can upload them to the app. And what's great about it is that you don't necessarily need to know how to identify it right away. Other naturalists on the app will help you identify it and will help you sort of learn more about your nearby nature. It's a bit of a collective learning platform in certain senses. And don't forget to join our Ecology Ottawa's BioBlitz iNaturalist project if you decide to join the app. We'd love to see your observations. And building off that as well, to sort of continue learning about your nearby nature and learning about the biodiversity issues within your neighborhood. It's great to attend local events that teach you more about native plants and pollinators and species at risk and invasive species and identifying trees. We're hosting a bunch of these events at Ecology Ottawa over the next few months, where we'll be discussing these subjects. So I really hope to see lots of you guys there.
What is the good future?
So to me, a good future is one where we've reimagined our relationship with nature. This means at an individual level and at every level of government, where nature is really prioritized in our policies, where we have naturalized areas all over the place. That means within the city, on sidewalks and any available space that we have, we've got little pollinator gardens, little food forests, little tiny forests on the corner where they fit, where green infrastructure is prioritized as a consistent policy rather than a few specific projects, where we have a healthy tree canopy, where we're protecting trees, and where all of this is included smartly in densely designed communities in order to reduce sprawl as well, to protect even more nature. And that to me is what a good future would look like.
Thanks for joining us today. Before we sign off, we've asked our guests to share one last interesting Enviro fact to ponder, and here's what Natasha wants you to know. Did you know that pollination is one of the most important ecological processes on the planet? 1 out of every 3 bites of food we take, including such favorites as bananas, apples, and chocolate, and more than half the world's supply of dietary fats and oils, is the result of the successful work of pollinators. We also get beverages, fibers, condiments, spices, and medicines from plants that rely on pollination. Without pollination, the world as we know it would be a different place. Thank you again for joining us, Natasha. This was EnviroCentre's Green Room.